Hi, I'm Stuart Rogers. I am the co-founder of Badass Empire with Victoria Loskatova, and this is Badass School. Now, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how I managed to focus and get my work done 3 times faster than I used to, and how you can do that too. Now, let's just think about that in terms of 3 times faster. Imagine what you could do with your day if you could do things 3 times faster. But as you are going to find out, this is not about filling up your day with 3 times more work, because that's actually going to be counterproductive to this entire process. This is about optimizing what you do and making sure that what you do is accurate, it's fast, it's inspired, so you don't have to do it over again. So you're going to get tasks done quicker, which is going to give you the opportunity to do as much work as you normally do in less time, which conversely gives you the opportunity to do other things. And those other things can be things that will maintain your mental health. So it does all link back to what I was talking about in episode 1, but we're going to take this much deeper, and I'm going to apply this practically for you so that you understand how to work faster, not harder. Now, first things first, we have become really a society that just reacts to the urgent. It's not a surprise to me. Urgency is something that is built into all of our devices. Ever since the dawn of the smartphone, we've had notifications going ping, 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 and they're just hitting us all the time. And so we're constantly focusing on the urgent. Urgent stuff is not necessarily going to help you actually reach your bottom line numbers. It's not going to help you hit your revenue. It's not going to help you hit your profits. Things like that are important. It is important that you make money in your business. It's important that you make profit. It's important that you look after your team, and you look after them not just in terms of providing their salary, but providing them with new skills to learn, or providing them with additional benefits or reward and recognition. You need time to be able to do those things, but those things are important to you. Maybe what's important to you is that you get more time with your family. Maybe that's important to you. Or with your friends. Maybe that's important to you. But we have to start thinking of things in terms of what is important, not what is urgent. And these constant notifications that we get on smartphones, on laptops, on tablets, on our watches, on other devices, are making us react to the urgent instead of the important. So first things first, we have to understand that. Dr. Stephen Covey said that anything less than a conscious commitment to the important is an unconscious commitment to the unimportant. Think about that for a moment. The human brain is a remarkable thing, and I think you probably heard people say some people are left brain and right brain. We know from research that that's not actually a thing. There is no such thing as left brain or right brain, but there are 2 brains up within here. There's the thinking brain and there's the reactive brain, and we've been conditioned to use our reactive brain much more. So we need to basically, if we want to be focused and positive, not cow down to our reactive brain. We have to put our thinking brain on. So let's think about those things first. First thing I do is think about, is this an important task? It's important if it adds to my bottom line. It's important if it helps me to get my product or service out so that people can enjoy it. It's important if it allows me to spend more time with my family and my friends. It's important if, get into this habit of figuring out what is important. Actually write down, maybe even pause this video right now and write down what is important to you. Because those are the things that you should be always treating as your North Star. That's the stuff that you should be guiding yourself towards all the time. The important stuff, not the urgent stuff. Now, here's the trick. The night before, you write down a list of all of the tasks that you need to do. And we're going to categorize all those tasks. We're going to put them in 4 buckets. The first bucket is important and urgent. Those are the first things that we should be doing. If they're important and urgent, that goes to the top of the list. The second category of things is important but not urgent. Those are the second things you should do in a day. Third thing is urgent but not important. And then the last thing, if it's not urgent and not important, take it off your list. It shouldn't be there in the first place. This is not something you need to be doing. So now that we've got those ordered in terms of those categories, important and urgent, important not urgent, urgent but not important, what I do is I put t-shirt sizes next to them. Now, what do the t-shirt sizes mean? Well, I go from extra large to large, medium, small, and extra small. An extra large task for me might take me an hour. An extra small task might take me 10 minutes. I estimate how long each of the tasks is going to take, and I put those t-shirt sizes beside the list of tasks. And now I make a fresh list. I take all my important and urgent things, and I put the extra large thing at the top and the extra small thing at the bottom. Then I take important, not urgent, extra large thing at the top, extra small thing at the bottom, and then urgent but not important, extra large at the top, extra small at the bottom. Now I have a list of things I need to do the next day in the right order. So, next day comes around. I already told you about my routine in the first video. I wake up, I meditate, I have breakfast, I do something fun to clear my brain, and then I do my first task. My first task is the most important and urgent extra large task, because by doing that one first, it's going to have the biggest impact on my business or the biggest impact on my journey, and it's going to give me a sense of accomplishment that is incredible, that's going to drive me through the rest of the tasks for the rest of the day. Now, what do I do after I've done that task? Well, that's really important. We're going to get to that a little bit later in this video. But first, let's talk about focus. Now, I credit daily meditation with a lot, whether it's keeping me fit and healthy, whether it's reducing my stress levels, whether it is allowing me to be just very present. You know, meditation has actually changed my life. Now, it's the presence that makes a difference here. With meditation, the kind of meditation I do is meditation that after you practice it daily for a while, it gets you into a space where you don't expend your energy on what has happened in the past because you can't control it, or what is happening in the future because you can't control that either. And that means you can put 100% of your brain power into right now. Now that will get you into a place where you can very, very tightly laser focus on the task in front of you, the task at hand, which means that you're going to be able to do it faster than you would have done before. Now, don't expect to be able to meditate for a day and then be more focused the next day. If you went into a gym, which of course is not possible right now, but let's say you have some weights at home, or you've made something that you just want to lift, like a duffel bag with some books in it. If you do some bicep curls, you don't expect to wake up with Arnold Schwarzenegger arms the next day, do you? You know that it's going to take you a year, 2 years, 3 years of constant practice, combined with putting the right fuel in your body, the right nutrition, before you're going to see the gains that you want to see. So don't expect anything else in your life to be any different. Constant practice is the only way that these things work, and it's the same with meditation. Now, they say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. It doesn't. We've actually got the research on it, and the research suggests that on average, and average is just for 10% of people in the middle of the bell curve, right? On average, it takes 66 days of repetitively doing something to form a habit, which means for you it might take longer, or it might take less time because you might be one of the outliers, but you're looking at 66 days. Now, there's an app called Calm, which I really like because it follows the narrative of mindfulness very closely. And within Calm, they have the 7 days of Calm, and then they have the 21 days of Calm. If you do that, that's 28 days of daily meditation. If you do that 7-21, 7-21, 7-21 cycle 3 times, then that is enough to form a daily habit for most people. If you do that, what will happen is you will get into a very mindful space where you're focused on right in front of you, and you can laser focus on the task at hand. I really do believe that that is the biggest driving reason for me being able to work so fast in comparison to what I used to have to do. But then I actually put in between my work sessions something really important, and that is play. Play is super important. You have to do something that's playful and do something you enjoy. Reward yourself for a task well done by going and playing. Now, we don't have many options right now in isolation. But, still you can paint, you can draw, you can make music, you can sing, you can do a jigsaw puzzle, you can read a fictional book. Don't read a non-fiction book. This is not do some work, then do some learning, because that's kind of work. Do something that will give you some joy or fun. Do something that will make you sweat. Do some exercise. Do something like that. From a chemical point of view, what happens is your heart pressure increases when you play or exercise. Your brain goes into fight or flight mode, even mildly. And to protect your brain from this minor stress, it produces a protein. You release a protein called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF basically protects you and repairs your memory neurons, acts as a reset button for your brain. As a result, you will think clearer and feel clearer and be more at ease, which means you will work better when you get to the next task. Not only that, brains are amazing things. Because you wrote down the list of things you need to do in the right order, when you play, your brain is going to subconsciously plan the next piece of work. So you're going to come to the next task, and your brain's already planned out what you're going to do, and there's no warm-up time, which means you can get into it quicker. It's also going to be more inspired, more creative, and more accurate, so you won't have to redo it again. So play is super important. The next thing is single tasking. Now, humans were not made for multitasking. In fact, we're terrible at it. Even worse than that, there's a huge amount of research that shows that it's actually bad for us. If you multitask, it actually is bad for your brain. The way that your neurons fire off when you're multitasking is damaging to your brain. And in addition to that, what we've discovered is that as you flip between tasks, it can be up to 20 minutes of recovery time before you're actually in that task again working effectively. This is a huge problem. I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather do a big task followed by a slightly smaller task, followed by a slightly smaller task, and then a smaller one and a smaller one, and then finish your day knowing that you've got all of these done? Or do you want to try running all of them simultaneously along with email and notifications and all sorts of other things, and actually not get any of them completed, maybe work harder, maybe not take any breaks, and constantly be flipping around in your brain because of the recovery time, and hurting yourself and the neurons in your brain because of multitasking? Like, I know which one I would prefer to do. So single tasking is really, really important. My method is to book meetings with myself in my calendar and be on time for that meeting. Don't be late, just like you wouldn't be late to see your friend for dinner. You wouldn't be late for a business meeting or a partner meeting. Like, book it in your diary, be on time, get that job done, and do only that job. When I'm doing a task, leave my notifications alone. I don't look at my smartphone, I don't look anywhere else. I only check my email a couple of times a day and at specific times, and that is a task for me to do that. So I'll play, check my email, play some more. It's a task. If anything is important and urgent that comes out of those emails and notifications, I'll deal with it accordingly. Like, if it's super urgent, I might slot it into my day, and if it's important and urgent, it will go onto my list because it may need to be dealt with that day. But I will tell people when I connect with them online my strategy, because managing people's expectations, telling them that you're not going to reply to messages instantaneously, you're not going to reply to emails instantaneously, is actually a really good coping mechanism, reduces your stress, and by managing their expectations it reduces their stress, because they know when they message you that they may not get an instant reply because you told them so in the first place. I actually have for my email an always out of office message, and it's humorous. I wrote it in a humorous way to make people feel good about themselves, but it tells you I'm not going to reply to this email probably. And it also tells them lots of other rules, like if you wrote to me about this, actually I'm not the person, this is the person you need to speak to, and I'll redirect them to one of my team. If it does get through all the rules and it is actually something I need to deal with, I'm going to get to it once or twice a day. And they know that because I've managed their expectations. Keeps everyone's stress levels low, helps me to optimize my day and work faster. And that's really, really important. Now, there's one other little trick. Now, our brains are not good at multitasking, but they are good at multitasking some things, like breathing and walking, for example. Those are, automatic things that we do, and we do them both at the same time. There is another part of your brain that is put aside for listening to music, and it does not count as multitasking. You can listen to music and do things simultaneously. We all have our own individual preferences. Some people can't listen to music with lyrics whilst they're working because the lyrics, basically just cause them problems and they're not able to focus or concentrate. So you could just play, something that is instrumental by nature. But music does make you feel things, and if I want to get a job done, particularly task, I might put particularly fast. I might put on something like sleigh bells, for example. Really love sleigh bells. It's relentless noise pop. It really drives me. Or I might put on some techno or deep house. It'll just push me to keep going and just get through that task because I've got that rhythm going on in my ears. So I put my headphones in and I'm focused. I know what I'm doing because I listed it out. I've put it in the right order. I'm dealing with the important things first, important and urgent, and the extra large task right at the start of the day. I've got that music in my ears to push me. Because of my daily practice of meditation, I can focus 100% of my brain power on what's in front of me right now. And because I play in between each task, my brain resets and I'm ready for the next task. And my brain has been subconsciously planning the next task anyway because I listed it out and because I have that order. That's how I work with focus and work faster than I ever have done in the past, but without it causing me burnout because I'm taking those breaks, because I'm playing, I'm having that fun time. And so I'm not in that sort of hustle and grind mentality, which is so bad for your mental health. I'm working effectively, I'm working in an optimized way. I'm working fewer hours than other people say they work, but I'm actually probably doing the same amount of work that they are in those few hours, because a lot of us just fill our time with what seems like work, but actually it's mostly just urgent stuff and not important. It's not the sort of thing we should be doing. So there you go. Now, this of course is another in our Badass School series. If you want to continue to add strings to your bows in the areas of business, marketing, and lifestyle, don't forget you have 28 amazing speakers on Badass Summit every month teaching you how to do stuff. They're not just there to tell you how awesome they are, they're there to tell you how to be badass in business, marketing, and lifestyle. Go to badasssummit.com and sign up. It's free to attend. If you're one of our patrons that is here on the level that gets you the all access pass at a discounted level, go ahead and get it. Instead of waiting for each run of Badass Summit to actually see the speakers, and instead of waiting for each set of speakers to be unlocked each day, you get access to all of them forever. You can watch them anytime you like, as many times as you like, plus about $1,000 worth of speaker bonuses for that incredibly low cost all access pass. So go ahead and get that if you want to, or you can access Badass Summit instantaneously or wait for the next run. But either way, check out badasssummit.com. Thank you for being our patron, and I'm looking forward to going deeper into other topics with you real soon.